This was the most regrettable shot in Curry's college career.
We did everything right.
Kicks it out, Richard!
Facing a double team, he chose to pass the ball to his teammate, but the ball fiercely hit the backboard. Davidson College was eliminated. After the loss, Curry was very unwilling. If he had dealt with the ball himself, maybe everything would have been different. Go back to the NCAA championship in 2008. Davidson College caused quite a stir here. They defeated Gonzaga University and Georgetown University one after another. Curry, the team's ace, sparked a sensation across the country. For the first time, everybody saw such a skinny young man could dominate the NCAA. But their story was far from over. After successfully entering the Sweet 16, Davidson College's rival was the University of Wisconsin. But at this point, Curry was unstoppable. They won the game by a large margin without any harm. But the whole team didn't celebrate wildly, because their next opponent would be a hellish one. That's the University of Kansas. But before the game started, the coach gave them a pep talk. He said to Curry, "The ones who should be afraid right now are not us. It should be them who are fighting for their dignity. What we need to do is to completely break them down." The game was extremely exciting. The University of Kansas held firm against Davidson College's offense. They launched a vigorous counterattack in the second half. In the last minute of the game, the University of Kansas was leading by 5 points. But Curry immediately hit a three-pointer to close the gap. As the next offensive didn't score, the ball possession returned to Davidson College. Everyone knew who they would give the ball to handle. The University of Kansas thought so too. After the timeout, they aggressively marked Curry. Seeing no chance to shoot, Curry passed the ball to his teammate. But not everyone is Steven. As the ball bangs on the backboard, Davidson College announced its elimination. Their comeback journey came to an end. After the match, Curry looked very upset. If he had chosen to shoot himself, perhaps there would have been a chance to score. But unfortunately, there are no ifs. When he returned home, Curry was contemplating one question: whether to participate in the NBA draft or play another year. After much thought, he chose the former. But the same problem exists. It was already a miracle that he could play in the NCAA with his physique. Now, asking him to play in the NBA, no one really believed he could stand his ground. But Curry had already made up his mind. After announcing his participation in the NBA, interested teams sent him invitations. Among them, the New York Knicks were the most attractive. Because this is the big city. Who wouldn't want to play here? But could reality really be as desired? This is a scene from the 2009 NBA draft. When they heard that the Golden State Warriors chose Stephen Curry, New York fans were furious. They were utterly shocked at this unexpected situation. Why would the Golden State Warriors do this? You should know that Curry didn't even have a workout. Why would they interrupt things like this? Time goes back to 2009. After Davidson College was eliminated in the last four, their star player, Stephen Curry, also immediately announced his participation in that year's NBA. But after all, NCAA and NBA are not the same. Here the physical requirements will be increased. But look at Curry again. Scouts' unanimous evaluation of him is, this guy is too thin. He can't play in the NBA. Among these teams, there are only two NBA teams who are very optimistic about Curry's prospects. One is called New York Knicks. One is called Golden State Warriors. For these two teams, Curry, of course, has no reason to refuse the Knicks. Who doesn't want to play ball in the big city? So during the workout, Curry simply refused the Golden State Warriors workout and only attended the New York workout. Both sides had a pleasant chat. The Knicks also promised Curry they would choose him with the 8th pick. When he got home, Curry was very happy. He would finally play in the NBA. Waiting for the NBA draft day, Curry, dressed up, headed to the little greenhouse. And the Knicks fans in the little greenhouse had already been waiting for a long time. They were just waiting for Curry to be selected and cheer wildly. But the result was quite unexpected. The Golden State Warriors with the 7th pick unexpectedly came in ahead of the Knicks. After being selected, his expression briefly changed, but he still showed his signature smile. But the Knicks fans behind him were not happy. They were like monks who cannot touch their heads. What on earth is the Golden State Warriors trying to do? After leaving the stage, Curry was facing his first problem, which was to familiarize himself with the route to Golden State. After all, he didn't even know where Golden State was before. But this was just the beginning. At that time, the Warriors team still had a gangster atmosphere. Even Monta Ellis before the draft had warned the team not to pick a point guard. He could handle everything himself. But the management still did their own thing. They chose another thin point guard. This is undoubtedly a sign of distrust towards him. So when he first got here, Monta Ellis was making things difficult for Curry everywhere. But Curry was also at ease. He believes that this is a problem every rookie has to face. So, to ease his relationship with the boss, he even prepared a cake and started singing the happy birthday song on Monta Ellis's birthday. This act surprised the latter. Their relations also softened a lot afterwards. On the court, Curry gradually showed his edge. His flexible dribbling and accurate three-point shooting kept bringing surprises to the people of Golden State. Choosing him was a great deal for the team. But just when Curry was about to make a name for himself, injury found its way. Have you ever seen a player spraining his right ankle 13 times? If there were no surprises, he should say goodbye to the NBA. Once again, because of his ankle injury, he announced his absence from the game. Curry was endlessly questioned. Some people said that his right foot has become habitually sprained. This situation for an NBA player will be a devastating blow. He might really have to say goodbye to the NBA. Time goes back to 2009. This was Curry's first year in the NBA. His combination with Monta Ellis was not successful, but at least it didn't fail miserably. The team did see Curry's potential. They had decided to promote Curry, and then build the team around Curry. But in the subsequent games, something that nobody expected happened. Curry's right foot kept spraining in the game. He himself also rested, and there was no sign of improvement. This made the team's original intention to trade Monta Ellis instantly vanished. After all, nobody can be sure if Curry will become injury-prone. The Warriors did not make it into the playoffs this season. A significant reason was Curry's continuous injuries. Adding up to the first injury, Curry's ankle was injured 4 times in this season. This is terrible for a rookie. And the team's management not only had to deal with Curry's ankle problem, they were also looking for new players in the draft. Before the 2011 draft, they were torn between 2 players for a long time. One is called Klay Thompson. One is a center player whose name I can't remember. They were more inclined to choose the latter. After all, the team already had enough guards. But just as they were about to make a choice, Jerry West stepped in. He warned the team that they must choose Klay Thompson. The Warriors management was a little confused. This was the first time they saw the old man talk like this. So in the draft, they chose Klay Thompson. What kind of charm does this person have that could make Jerry West, who has seen big scenes, love him so much? But this is not the time to consider this. Curry's ankle is still constantly injured. They must solve this problem. Otherwise, all efforts will be in vain. The prospects of the Warriors team are hazy. Can Curry's ankle get better?